This is a blank account activity tab. The cash journal is a continuous and living document. You will move down in the rows as you continually update your records. It is anticipated that you were previously using some other software to track your bank account. When you begin using this cash journal, you do not need to include all past transactions. However, there are two types of transactions that you must incorporate prior to your official transition date. First, you must include any outstanding checks uncashed as of your transition date. Secondly, you must display the transfer of funds. The balance transfer. Let us see an example on the next slide. This is a cash journal that has several transactions that have been input. Let us analyze what is here. For this particular account, there is a transition date of July 1st, 2021. Notice, though, that rows 2 through 6 have dates preceding that. Rows 2, 3, and 4 represent all outstanding checks that still have yet to be cashed as of the transition date. These must be included because they will eventually need to be reconciled. Rows 5 and 6 represent the balance transfers. This is the money in your account. Notice that there are two transfers. Row 5 is labeled under the subaccount discretionary because it represents the general bank balance that is not assigned to any particular expenditure. Row 6, on the other hand, represents a small portion of the balance that has been allotted to a particular subaccount, in this case identified as senior dues. As you are inputting balance transfers, be sure to assign specific portions to their appropriate subaccounts. This is important in order for schools to keep clear records of where their funds are not only being spent, but what they are intended to be spent on. Lastly, we have in rows 7 through 10, a series of normal bank transactions. There are two steps to fully complete a transaction into your cash journal. First, you must input the transaction as it occurs for you. For instance, when you input an expense written as a check, you will date the transaction the day that you wrote the check. However, each transaction, both credits and debits, need to be reconciled with the bank statements. This slide shows additional columns on the Account Activity tab. Column L, in particular, is the column where we will confirm when each transaction was finalized by the bank posting date. Not completing this will result in accounts that are unreconciled and incomplete. This is an image of what the Account Overview tab looks like once we have input transactions in the Account Activity tab. In rows 6 and 7, we have the option to input desired time periods to generate a report or overview for the determined period of interest. Please note that the date in row 6, the beginning date can never be before the transition date. Otherwise, it is customizable.